Today on Household Hacker, we're gonna make candles and go full Pinterest on you. Wait, you never go full Pinterest. To make your own awesome candles, we need to start with a pot of boiling water. You never want to melt wax directly over the stove, so we're going to use the double boiler method. Just place another pan or pot directly into the boiling water. This will avoid direct contact so the wax won't burn. Now you're going to need to pick up some wax blocks at your local art store. However, you can also melt down old candles and create something new and flashy if you want. We're going to bring the melted wax up to a temperature of around 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and then turn off the heat and let it settle down to about 150. You can use a glass thermometer or any type of temperature gauge that can withstand intense heat. Once the mixture has cooled down a bit, we can add a scent to the mixture. You want to wait for it to cool so that the added smells don't burn off. Again, scents can be purchased for $1 or $2 at your local art store. I got all of these at Michael's Arts and Crafts. Stir in the scent well, and it's time to get a container for the candle. I rated my glassware and found several containers that would be perfect to hold a candle. After you get a container, you're going to need a wick. There are lots of choices here. I decided to go with a thin piece of balsa wood for a wick. You want to stick the wick in the center of the container. You can do this by applying wax or hot glue to the bottom and sticking it right in the center. Once your setup is complete, slowly and carefully pour the wax directly into the container, leaving a little room to spare at the top. I set some scissors next to the wick to hold it in place while the candle dries. After a couple hours, this candle is ready for prime time. Now let's melt down more wax, and this time add some coloring. To color your candle wax, you need an oil-based coloring agent. Many stores sell colors specifically for candle making, and it's fairly cheap. But keep in mind you can't use food coloring because it's water-based and it's not going to mix with the wax. I'll link you to the stuff I used in the description. Here I just added a few green dye cubes and stirred them around until they dissolved in the wax. Once everything's mixed in, you can pour it off again into the container. But remember, don't forget to add your wick first. Now what if you don't have glass containers to use, but you want a nifty looking candle anyway? Well, here's an awesome trick. Grab an empty milk or juice carton and cut off the top. Once you have a pillar ready, secure a wick into the center and tie it off to the top to hold it in place. You can use anything that extends across the top for stabilization. Now slowly and carefully pour your wax into the carton and let it dry for a couple hours. At this point, you can simply peel off the carton, which will leave you with an awesome little pillar candle. I did this with a taller carton as well and even added a top layer of color to it. The results are pretty astounding. Now, candle making does not come without failure. For example, take a look at the first carton candle I attempted. Unfortunately, something went awry during the process and I ended up with a lumpy, broken candle. I could probably call it artisan and sell it on Etsy though. These things make great gifts for any occasion, and you can make them yourself for a fraction of the cost you would pay for a large store-bought scented candle. Since we like giving away some of the stuff we make on Household Hacker, this will be no different. Want a handmade candle crafted in my top secret underground headquarters? Just sign up for our email list at householdhacker.tv/list. Every week we're picking a subscriber and sending out a previously made project. Hope you enjoyed this crash course in candle making. Here's some other videos to check out, and we'll see you next time.